medicine, politics, or education. We have humanism in literature, photography, and film. In each case, the individual is kept at the top of the list of concerns, not subordinated to some grander concept or ideal. This is closer to what the humanitarian student was getting at. But what about those scholars of 14th and 15th century Italy and beyond, the ones the first Thermarsh speaker was talking about? These were humanists of another type. They translated and edited books, taught students, corresponded with their clever friends, debated interpretations, advanced intellectual life, and generally wrote and talked a lot. In short, they were specialists in the humanities, or the studia humanitatis, meaning human studies. From this Latin term, they became known in Italian as humanisti, and so they are humanists too. American English usage still calls them humanists today. Many have shared the ethical interests of the other kinds of humanists, believing that learning and teaching the human studies enables a more virtuous and civilized life. Humanities teachers still often think this, in a modernized form. By introducing students to literary and cultural experiences and to the tools of critical analysis, they hope to help them to acquire extra sensitivity to the perspectives of others, a subtler grasp of how political and historical events unfold, and a more judicious and thoughtful approach to life generally. They hope to cultivate humanitas, which in Latin means being human, but with added overtones of being refined, knowledgeable, articulate, generous, and well-mannered. Religious, non-religious, philosophical, practical, and humanities teaching humanists, what do all these meanings have in common, if anything? The answer is right there in the name. They all look to the human dimension of life. What is that dimension? It can be hard to pin down, but it lies somewhere in between the physical realm of matter and whatever purely spiritual or divine realm may be thought to exist. We humans are made of matter, of course, like everything else around us. At the other end of the spectrum, we may, some believe, connect in some way with the numinous realm. At the same time, however, we also occupy a field of reality that is neither entirely physical nor entirely spiritual. This is where we practice culture, thought, morality, ritual, art. Activities that are, mostly though not entirely, distinctive to our species. Here is where we invest much of our time and energy. We spend it talking, telling stories, making pictures or models, working out ethical judgments and struggling to do the right thing, negotiating social agreements, worshipping in temples or churches or sacred groves, passing on memories, teaching, playing music, telling jokes, and clowning around for others' amusement, trying to reason things out, and just generally being the kinds of beings that we are. This is the realm that humanists of all kinds put at the centre of their concern. Thus, whereas scientists study the physical world and theologians the divine one, humanists study the human world of art, history, and culture. Non-religious humanists make their moral choices based on human well-being, not divine instruction. Religious humanists focus on human well-being too, but within the context of a faith. Philosophical and other kinds of humanists constantly measure their ideas against the experience of real, living people. The human-centered approach was conveyed in a remark made some 2,500 years ago by the Greek philosopher Protagoras. Man is the measure of all things. That may sound arrogant, but there is no need to take it as meaning that the whole universe must conform to our ideas, still less that we are entitled to lord it over other life forms. We can read it as saying that, as humans, we experience our reality in a human-shaped way. We know and care about human things. They are important to us, so let's take them seriously. Admittedly, by this definition, almost everything we do can seem a bit humanistic. Other proposed definitions have been even more all-embracing.